top 10 cities to go to when visiting Sicily on the East Coast. So landing in Catania, and make sure you watch all the way to the end because, of course, there are some bonus ones as well.
You know, Esther, in my view, there are 1,000 little towns and villages on the east coast of Sicily that you can enjoy yourself. But this particular video will serve as a guidepost for you, especially if you're a first-time visitor here to Sicily.
So put these on your list.
Downtown Catania is one of the most underrated cities on the east coast of Sicily. It's a medley of new and old, with Roman ruins, a medieval castle, ancient churches, a monastery, a theater, and a robust downtown. The fish market is a must-stop in the morning. And after it, enjoy the sights and sounds of the Piazza Duomo. Eat a granita or a cassata, and you will be in heaven.
Look at this character.
Let's head down south to Ortigia in the province of Siracusa. We've featured this treasure on our channel many times. There's lots to see in a very small radius on this island.
Bursting with color, of course.
The fruit, vegetable, fish, and just about everything market is open daily except for Sunday.
Look at this collection of street food.
And head down to the Temple of Apollo, the oldest in Sicily. There's the Fountain of Diana. The majestic Duomo. It's in one of our favorite piazzas in all of Sicily. And if you can, stop by the archaeological park in the city of Siracusa for a treat. There's the largest amphitheater in Sicily, the ear of Dionysius, and the burial site of Archimedes, one of Sicily's most important sons. The park is quite big, so give yourself at least 1 or 2 hours. Next, head to breathtaking Baroque Noto. Walk along the main street and be dazzled. In May, there's also the Flower Festival. Some of the best beaches on the East Coast are in this area as well, including Fontana Bianco, San Lorenzo, or even towns like Avola are great for beaches. Further south, check out the charming and quaint small town of Marzamemi and the Tonara. The square is a perfect place to get a cup of coffee or have a lunch. Ragusa in the province of Ragusa has a magnificent Duomo, splendid public garden, lots of cool monuments, and typical foods like scacce and, oh, the cheeses you must try.
Salami e battatto and white.
Modica is also known for its Baroque splendor and, most importantly, its chocolates. Chocolates are made in the ancient Aztec way without milk. For some, it's an acquired taste. For others, once they tried a bite, they can never turn back. Love ceramics? Head to Caltagirone in the province of Catania. It is an outdoor ceramic museum filled with dozens of shops. For the brave, walk up the 142 individually crafted stairs of Santa Maria del Monte. The stairs were built in 1606 in order to connect the ancient part of Caltagirone to the new city built in the upper town. Also on the east and north coast, if you love ceramics, there is the town of Santo Stefano de Camestra. Of course, when you're on the East Coast, Her Majesty, Mama Etna rules. Visiting Etna's small, non-touristy towns is a great way to see how real Sicilians live. And when I say going to small, non-touristy towns, I mean like places like Acitrezza, Acicastello, and then making your way up to Mount Etna through Via Grande, Zefferana Etnea, Trecastagni, or you can do it from the other side and go through Fiumofreddo, Piedmento Etnea, Castiglioni de Sicilia, and also Lingua Glossa. So this is the scene here on a Saturday in Acitrezza. All year round, Etna dominates the area with her beauty and frequent activity.
Look at the snow today.
Go all the way up to Nicolosi and Refugio Sapienza, and you can even walk on some craters. Piazza Armerina has the fascinating Villa Romana del Casale, with one of the richest, largest, and varied collections of Roman mosaics in the world. The history of this villa, the layout, and intricate artwork is worth the visit, but it's good to have a guide that can explain the intricacies.
This time here, I want you to imagine the guests probably eating together, because this could be the dining rooms of the guest.
Whether you're on the east coast or west coast of Sicily, make sure you visit some of these small little towns, the non-touristy, off the beaten path towns. See how everyday Sicilians live. And most importantly, we went to the market in Catania, in Ortigia. Every town has a little market or some locals that set up shop right on the street. It's so fun to see how people interact, especially in the morning when it's busy, or, believe it or not, lunchtime. All the markets are busy, busy, busy. And then after 1 o'clock, it's like ghost town. Everyone's waiting for the artichoke.
Allora, questa è con i semi di fame, piccante e secco. E poi è pronta da mangiarsi, no? Un filonchetto?
Uno piccante.
Be afraid of leaving you with all those sheep.
Giardini Naxos and Taormina, we put together these towns on our tours. We start in Giardini Naxos so you get a perspective view of Taormina. This is where the Greeks set up the first colony in Sicily in 734 BC. And then they headed up one of the most visited towns in Sicily, Taormina. No matter what month of the year, we promise you will be enchanted. Of course, we have several more in-depth videos on all these towns on our playlist called Explore Sicily. And here we are at the famous Bam Bar. we also want to mention Savoca and Forza di Agro, not because some of the scenes of the Godfather movie were filmed there, but because of its charming cobblestone streets, views of the mountain and the Ionian Sea. Here, you can hearken back to a life in a different century. Now here's some more bonus towns, although you have to make sure that you have enough time to go to the Aeolian Islands. You take the ferry from Milazzo, and there are 7 different ones. This is just a different type of a paradise. The islands are pristine, well preserved, and worth the visit if, again, you have time.
Obviously, that was a very difficult list to put together, but I managed to squeeze in some bonus ones for you. But as we said before, there are so many others. I think one of the places that I didn't mention was the city of Messina, which is worth a visit if you're going up to the north and east of the island.
Frankly, not only Messina, but going west from Messina into Tindari, and also the mountains of the Nebrodi. I love the Nebrodi mountains, and the borgs, all the different borgs that are over there. Francavilla di Sicilia especially, Castiglione di Sicilia, beautiful area over there. But it's impossible to put down something for people who want to visit without mentioning the top ones, which I think we did a pretty good job of today.
I think so as well. Now, if you're coming to the West Coast, don't worry, we got you covered because we did an entire video on what to see on the West Coast of Sicily. Now, just some things, I talked about the market and going to where the locals are. If you're coming, check out if there's a festival, because that's also a great tradition, a great experience to do. And we talk about experiences. Why not go to a vineyard or go boating or even try olive oil tasting or Sicilian cart museum? Over the years, we've established this basket of goodies, as I like to call it, a basket of experiences that are great to do when coming here into Sicily. And I didn't even mention that, but I definitely put some stuff in there. The foods. Enjoying the foods here in Sicily is also a big part of the experience.
And also, it's dependent on what time of the year you come, okay? The last few years, we've actually been going to Taormina, beautiful, magical Taormina, for New Year's Eve. Man, oh man, you want to experience really a magical time that is kind of like surreal, is go there for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
But also Christmas period.
Yeah, Christmas is good too.
I always say it never gets old. We've been here since 2014 doing this, and it never gets old.
Esther, one other area I would talk about that really isn't in this video and really isn't technically on the quote-unquote east side, but right in the middle is Etna. And Etna, especially this time of the year in the springtime when they have all the Easter celebrations, that's another blow-you-away type of a place. Little town, right in the middle. I guess you could say it's halfway between Catania and Palermo, but, we can't leave out Etna, Esther.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Right.
And the other thing I wanted to tell you is that Agrigento, we didn't have Agrigento on this list, but you can do it from Catania. I did mention it on things to see on the West Coast, but you can do Agrigento right in the middle and south from both areas. But you're right, Etna is another one. But really, we can make this list over 200 towns and cities to see and do before we're done. So, add Etna.
The places that we illustrated today is, according to Latin, this is the sine qua non of the basic places that you ought to go to. Even if you come again, you can go to each one of these places and find 100 times more treasures. The more you go, the more you visit, the more you experience, the deeper your understanding of this magical paradise.
For sure. And you come at different times of the year, things look different times of the day, things may look different as well. So it's also a perspective. A few years later, you may have a different perspective. So I would say sometimes, I was telling this to Maria, who's going to be coming, put some towns that you've been to before back on the list and visit again, because it just may be a completely different experience.
A lot of stuff that you've missed, or what happens is you have an auditory overload and a visual overload. And after one day, after another day, it becomes like, oh yeah, where am I type of a thing, right? So the second time you come, or the third time, or the fourth time you come here, it's like savoring a fine glass of wine. You enjoy what you see, what you feel, etc.
And even for me, visiting all these places over and over again, I see something different.
Every time.
Every time.
Magical place.
And here's one more hint when coming to Sicily, or really traveling anywhere, that my Peace Corps father told me in Hungary. When you're walking around any town, any city, don't just look forward. Look up, look around, and look down, because you'll get a completely different perspective. So that's a little
I have
travel
something
hint.
to add to that.
Yeah.
If you're at a festival where there's a lot of people, also look in your pocket and make sure your wallet is covered. All right? There are pickpockets.
In a city, you just got to watch yourself.
What defines a city? What defines your people? In Catania, one thing defines her city and the people, and that's the athletic teams. More specifically, I'm talking about her soccer team, which a mere year and a half ago was bankrupt and out of business. What brought this back to life? Was it an investor that came in out of the blue? That didn't happen right away. What happened right away was the citizens of Catania, through force of love, sold 15,000 season tickets for an unknown owner. It was nothing but the front pages of all the papers in Sicily for months. Finally, an owner emerged, a Sicilian general manager, and they started off their quest back to immortality, so to speak, in Series D, which is the lowest of the four leagues throughout Italy. And Series D meant you could only use amateur players, not professional players. Against heroic odds, I'm very pleased to report today they won the championship of Series C last week. Number two, they've been moved up from Series D to Series C next year, which allows for the payment of professional athletes. And if they do well in that group, they can go to Series B. Now, to say that the citizens now are completely berserk, they had parties, they had parades. It's like they won the American Super Bowl. Okay, it has brought Catania back to life, and really, I am just thrilled for the people, for the sport fans, for the soul of Catania, that it's going to compel me to do my old Austin Prep Cheer that I haven't done in 55 years. And here it goes. Acca like a ching, acca like a chow, acca like a ching ching, chow chow chow. Boomeranga, boomeranga, sisk boom ba, Catania, Catania, rah rah rah.
All right, we still have room available in our June tour of the west coast of Sicily. So if you're interested in visiting the Palermo, Monreale, the Sciacca, the Trapani, Sugesta, and we're going to a ricotta place, vineyard and cooking experience that's on the west coast. So message me. And also some room left in our Tuscany tour. We're only doing it once a year, September Tuscany tour. So make sure you message me about that as well.
We just had a cancellation for somebody on the June tour, and unfortunately they lost their non-refundable deposit. So I'm willing, and I'm sure Esther is willing, to give to you, say, $250 off.
First-time travelers.
First-time travelers, if you want to come to pick up their spaces. And I'm sure it's not going to last very long. So after you listen to this, if you want to come over here, it's still in June, give Esther a jingle and we'll put you right in.
All right, and here's another great deal for you with Easter coming up. If you go to www.winesfromitaly.com, that's winesfromitaly.com, and you make a purchase of $150 or more, you get free shipping. And tell Daniel, he's got some great Etna wines, Etna vineyards from Alcantara and also Filiato. So great collections, not just Sicily, but other wines as well.
Hey, I want to give out a shout out to our good friend, Mr. and Mrs. Fusco from Vermont. Excuse me, not Vermont.
Canada.
It's close enough. Mr. and Mrs. Fusco, as a supporter of us, we want to wish you the happiest Easter, a blessed Easter, and we just love your daughter, and we hope to see her and her gang.
And your son.
And we hope to see that gang over here again. Boy, do we have a good time with them. It's just unbelievable. Anyways, God bless you. Thank you for everything that you do.
And thank you for
us,
everyone who's been supporting for a long, long time.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Thank
We have a lot of friends.
We are blessed.
And who have consistently supported what we do. We get emails and things every day of the week thanking us for showing you this. I'm kind of excited, Esther, for this year. I've got 3 different cousins of mine coming here from my mom's side and from my dad's side that I'm really looking forward to spending some personal time showing them where their grandmother and grandfather, the house that they live. I'm very curious to see their reaction.
I know that's always a great experience.
It's going to be a good time. Well, we did it with my cousin Josephine and Jim. Remember when they came? So
we went to Tusa.
And Castagni, right?
That was
so you have family members come over here, leaning against walls, looking inside of the places where your family. Look at Lisa Zoba.
Zoba
and Terry.
That
they
flipped
out.
Candace and Father
and
Chris.
Candace. Oh my goodness!
Oh my gosh!
It's worth the price of admission just to come over to see that. I'm telling you right now.
Thank you for watching. Ching ching to you. Have a great weekend. Buona domenica, and we'll see you on another video of You, Me, and Sicily. Any ideas for things you want to see on our channel? Make sure you leave us a comment.
Ti voglio bene, se benediga.
Arrivederci. Ciao.